Have you felt that the most challenging or creative part of your job or schoolwork is figuring out how to respond to an email or writing a last minute assignment that sounds original? Are we all just turning to Chat GPT now? We'll get back to that in a second. See, I've spent years in the tech industry doing different roles and different environments, but I've seen the same thing everywhere. Creativity getting slowly waterboarded by processes, mandatory tools, quarterly goals. I mean, imagine this. It's yet another Zoom meeting, unlike this one. Someone is sharing a spreadsheet that someone else created. Your mind is melting, and you're sitting there wondering, is this it? Is what innovation is supposed to look like? I've been in that situation countless times. I've seen innovation pack its bags and take off on an indefinite vacation during these meetings. I've witnessed people quit thinking. At some point, you realize you're part of the problem. Because whether it's at school or at work, you don't want to be the person regurgitating the same ideas and notions over and over. You want to be the person whose ideas make people stop and go, whoa, where did that come from? Ultimately, it's you who needs to think differently. So I started asking, is there a better way to think? A mindset, a creative cheat code, perhaps, that cuts across roles, majors, job titles. It doesn't matter if you're a math whiz, a theater kid, or someone still figuring it all out. And weirdly enough, I found part of that cheat code through Pablo Picasso's art. Not just Picasso the painter, but Picasso the radical thinker. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Lessons in thinking pulled straight from Picasso's artistic mind and tools you can use to think, create, lead, or just write your next group assignment. I have to begin with a confession though. Traditional art, the Picasso kind, entered my personal zeitgeist pretty late in life. I was this nerdy kid that considered art to be pretentious, uncool. How often have you walked into an art museum, seen an exhibit on the wall, and thought, what the bleep is that? Why is that here? Is that supposed to be art? I used to think that all the time. Still do, actually. Some pieces are, let's just say, underwhelming. But I started appreciating the good stuff the more I consumed it and tried understanding what the artist was trying to convey. It's definitely an acquired taste, much like fine wine or Wes Anderson movies. Then one balmy winter morning in New York City, I was at the Museum of Modern Art, staring at this Picasso Cubist painting called Girl Before a Mirror. And I was intrigued, confused, trying to take it in. I learned that this wasn't simply a painting of a girl. It was a bold depiction of complexity, multiplicity, perspective, juxtaposing reality with the abstract. Picasso was doing something what no artist or art form had ever done before. Capturing every angle, every viewpoint simultaneously, collapsing both time and space into a single powerful image. This was the essence of Cubism, and it was revolutionary. And I stood there, struck by it, wondering if and how this strange, mind-bending artistic concept could be applied to everything I did. Months later, I was at a product brainstorm session with my team at work. One group wanted feature A, another wanted feature B. Classic tug of war. Everyone thinks their ideas are the best. But I remembered Cubism, and it suddenly all made sense. I said, what if we looked at this through all the lenses? User experience, marketing, business, engineering. What if we laid it all out and found a solution that addressed every constraint at once? Wasn't pretty. The designers hated it, but the solution we came up with was effective and sustainable, and it was Cubism in the real world. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. These sorts of paintings can get a bit bizarre, like this one. There's multiple noses on the woman's face, eyes looking in every direction, or this one. This could feel like a whole other level of abstract. Some might even call this creepy. But that's exactly what makes them revolutionary. This is not what you'd expect. This shattered norms and broke the mold in terms of what art represented. Modern innovation also happens daring to question norms, finding new perspectives and imagining unexpected ways of doing things, whether that is with school, business, music, or art. This notion taught me to question everything, and I challenge you today to do the same. Reframe your thinking, challenge your assumption and biases on how things are done. Ask, does it have to be this way? What if the opposite were true? What if I combine, mix and match completely unrelated concepts? What if my idea seemed at first like a complete Frankenstein? March 2020, the world stopped, panic set in. The customers at my company who had always relied on sophisticated office-centric product portfolios were suddenly stranded and their products were rendered useless overnight. It seemed like we needed a new product roadmap. Then it struck me, perhaps we didn't need a new roadmap. Perhaps all we needed was a new lens. So I worked with my team to grab bits of what was in our product fridge, threw them in the pan to cook up a work from home solution package, hardware, services, software, all together, shipped as one Frankensteinian survival kit, and customers loved it because it addressed their immediate unique needs and got them back on track. The magic was in imagining and seamlessly integrating different product elements and coming up with something new in a way that hadn't been done before. This wasn't innovation by design, this was cubism in action. So when the rules break, break the mold, break the silos, be unreasonably creative just like Picasso was. Now, speaking of unreasonable creativity, it is tempting these days to type in a prompt on ChatGPT and have it spit out a response, isn't it? I can totally relate. In fact, ChatGPT wrote this entire speech. I'm joking, but some people seem to object to using AI in any form because they argue that it infringes on originality. Well, I have news for you. Nothing can be 100% original. We apply this stamp of originality on things we come up with. Like, bro, I thought of this all by myself. Yeah, not a thing, unfortunately. Renowned literary critic Harold Bloom says that all creativity is shaped by influence, which makes intuitive sense, right? Even the world's all-time best-selling book says that there's nothing new under the sun. So maybe the point isn't being original, it's being authentic, being you. You are what's original. Your creativity, your imagination, your ability to connect dots, however disconnected they may initially seem. We all drink from the same fountain of inspiration that's the world around us. Lean into it. Expand your horizon. So, coming back to the AI debate, is it cool or not to use AI for ideation? Does it make you less or more creative? Well, I think that is subjective, but I will say this. I think it is naive and maybe a little disingenuous to imagine a future where we're not working alongside the behemoth AI machine. Forget the future, it's very much the present. This big digital genie is out of the bottle and isn't going back, whether for better or for worse. So it's in our best interest to learn to make the most of this new way of ideation. Creative intelligence that's driven by human AI co-creation may be an answer. Think of it as a seamless blend of machine and human creativity, giving rise to novel solutions in whichever field you are. Picasso once famously said, good artists copy, great artists steal. But he obviously didn't steal blindly. He employed creative intelligence driven by curiosity. Okay, here's my randomly co-created idea, and feel free to share it. An acoustic guitar with an onboard looper and amplifier powered by flexible solar film. You jam outdoors like this guy, just sunlight and sound. AI could even recommend chord progressions or harmonies based on the emotions of the guitar player or the environment detected. Sound crazy? Well, I have 300 more of these. But let me ask you this. If Picasso had the kind of AI tools we have today, you think he'd sit that out? I'm willing to bet my entire 401k he'd be mid-prompt on mid-journey before finishing his morning espresso. The sense of curiosity and experimentation defines creative minds. The man stole from African art,
Yeah.
classical Renaissance European art, and elsewhere, but all the while
Yeah.
maintaining his signature style. Even Albert Einstein once said, I have no talent other than being passionately curious. So I say nothing should get in the way of your curiosity or stop you from using AI to unlock your next big idea. It's just another brush in your art kit. And if AI throws out something that's boring or generic, as it often does, just keep iterating, keep prompting, and if that still doesn't work, just use it as an elimination tool. Just like Picasso, you are an artist with a paintbrush. Each day, with everything you do, you get to decide how to wield that brush, what pictures to sketch, what colors to infuse in. Make it something spectacular that you can look at and be proud of, with or without AI. So I'll leave you with this. With any problem or creative endeavor, whether at school, at work, or in life, go beyond the obvious and the immediate. Consider multiple different perspectives and try considering the broader tapestry of our world. My most creative endeavors have come from following these very simple ideologies. So think like an artist. My source of inspiration was Picasso. Find yours. And remember, AI can be powerful, but you're the one holding that paintbrush. Thank you.